I love it so much. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. We're sitting on a bureau. It's blue. And it's not cute. Well, is it cute? It does have potential, and that's kind of why we got it. So I'm sitting on a blue bureau. Here's what the bureau actually looks like. It's blue, and it's got a lot of like little details and things, and the freaking handles. Shut up, can't handle the handles. So I thought what we could do today is kind of take like a tired piece of furniture, a furniture that is sort of screaming to be redone. I want to breathe new life into a piece of furniture that has seen way too many coats of paint. I'm pretty sure that this thing has like white, red, green, and blue, like all layered on top of each other. It's chipped, it's dirty, it needs to be redone. And you know what I want to do with it? You know I'm not just going to paint it white. Like, that's painfully obvious, right? I want to paint this thing matte black. I also kind of want to do some like gold leafing on like the details. I want to clean up the draw pulls because, oh my god, those are so cool. They look evil. Like, the handles look evil, and they're screaming to be with a matte black bureau. Alright, so I looked into paint removers. I found this one at Ace, and it is called Smart Strip Advanced Paint Remover. So we're going to use this to scrape all the paint off. I can't wait to see what this thing looks like under all of these coats of paint. Can you come get me? Okay, thank you. Okay, so first thing that we have to do before we start like scraping off the paint and everything is we have to take off the drawer like pulls, the drawer handles. This one already gone, but we have to take the rest of them off. Why do like landlords and like people paint over doorknobs and cool locks? Why are we out here doing that? These are literally the coolest thing.
Yeah.
So they're solid brass.
I think so.
We figured out. Okay. Boop. Alright. Okay, so with all of the drawer pulls pulled off, we are going to start painting this Smart Strip stuff off, or on. I think what we're going to do is leave the drawers in and just paint this stuff onto everything that we can see. All right, so first round of Smart Strip, here we go. I'm just kind of painting this on the entire bureau. We're going to cover the entire thing with this stuff, and it is just kind of a paste in the jar, so it's pretty easy to just like paint on. I got a good generous coat over the entire thing, and even like in some areas where I painted, multiple coats and was kind of brushing over it a lot, it was, as I was painting it on, it was already like lifting that very top layer of blue paint. You can see it there. It's like coming off of that little lock area. The areas where I was like really brushing it, it was already coming off, and I should have taken that as a sign to like start scraping it immediately. I did make a mistake, you'll see it later, but we are just covering this entire thing with Smart Strip. All right, so it's the next day. We left it on for 24 hours. Listen, it says 3 to 24 hours, so I thought it would be fine. It's not that it's not fine. It's more just like that it's not super great. So you can see that I've been working on chipping away at it. Originally, I thought there were like 4 different layers of paint, but it looks like all we need to get through is 3 layers of paint. Get off me! We have scrapers. So I think what we're going to do is just like go in and scrape. Part of that's going to be satisfying, part of it's not. Let's get into that. Well, you saw my mistake, didn't you? So yeah, I let this stuff sit overnight. I shouldn't have. I really should have taken that paint lifting as a sign to start scraping and scrubbing like right away. Because it basically, this stuff, like, since I left it on for so long, it basically just dried on there. It is still, obviously, I'm able to, like, scrape it up and off, but I think if I had, like, scraped it immediately and started working at it immediately, then it would have been a lot easier, because this this was a process to scrape this. But, you know, lesson learned, I guess. Round 2 of Smart Strip. Let's go. All right, so now we are on to round 2 of painting on Smart Strip. I cannot. I did end up running out of it and having to go buy more and an even bigger jar. Anyway, so painting another layer of this stuff on, and I did learn a little bit of a lesson the first time, so I did go in and I left it for like probably 30 minutes, and then I came back and started scrubbing it with these like wired brushes, and it was loosening up the paint, and it was a lot easier to sort of scrape off with my paint scraper like I am doing here. But you'll see here that it is the goopiest, stickiest consistency. It was just the worst consistency you can think of to work with because it just stuck. I was hoping that it would like scrape up and I could like wipe it down sort of with like a towel or a paper towel. No. You cannot do that. It's like so sticky. It was all over my shoe. Anyway, you know, we don't need to talk about that, but I was able to scrape it up, and, you know, I had trash bags, and I basically just did this and then scraped it into a trash bag. Long process, but it did end up working. Thank goodness. Hello. It's been a while. So, yeah, it's been around a week. Honestly, I think it's been around a week that it took me to get to this point of removing the paint. There was like 3 layers of paint, and just to sum it up really quick, the reason that I used the stuff I used, the Smart Strip stuff, is because it said that it was a safe way to remove lead paint. Now, I don't know if this thing had lead paint on it, but I didn't really want to screw around and find out. Although I did find out later, very recently, that there are tests that you can do to find out if it is lead paint. You can like paint it on and it changes color to, you get it. I didn't know that until I basically got to this point, so those scrapey tools that I had, dead. We killed them. Anyway, we're at this point. Look at it. It is such a beautiful bureau that I'm like angry that anyone ever painted it that color of blue. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's so pretty. I have my electric sander here, and I think I'm just gonna go in and sand the rest of this off. We're here. We're at this point. Pretty proud. Pretty happy. So I'm gonna go in with 120 grit sanding discs, and we're gonna sand the top part of this bureau and maybe a little bit of the sides. All right, so now we're finally sanding. I know, the bureau is like a whole new bureau at this point. So I did sand the top to get those little bits of like, I don't know, like a varnish or something that was on it. I did end up switching to 80 grit as well because it just wasn't sanding enough with the 120. So I basically just sanded the top and a little bit of the sides. Okay, so we did a little bit of sanding yesterday. It's the next day. We're going to continue this process. The next step is we are going to finally paint this thing matte black. So what I am going to be using to paint this is the black 3.0, like the blackest black paint in the world. I have 2 bottles of it. I'm hoping it takes me to the finish line because I wanted to add some like gray. I don't know where. Probably gonna let my heart lead the way on that. Yeah, just do like small details with the gray. So these are the chalk paints from Pop of Color. I'm gonna mix these two together. They do have like a chalk-like matte finish. So we're gonna mix them together. We're gonna get a gray, hopefully, and then I'll use this. So that's what we're gonna start with. I'm pretty excited to see this thing matte black. I'm pretty excited to see this thing like disappear because this is supposed to be like the blackest black paint in the world. Isn't that supposed to like suck light in or something? It's like a black hole.
Yeah.
I'm excited to create a black hole just now in this room. Imagine. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is paint over, you might be upset, but we're going to paint over the keyholes. The reason being, they actually turned out to be wood. I thought they were going to be metal, but they turned out to be wood and completely attached. So I'm going to paint over them and then we might do something funky later with some like gold leafing, but for now, we're going to paint over them. So we painted the top and the front with the black 3.0 paint, and then on the sides we used this paint. This is the chalk paint from Pop of Color, and it's kind of like, it's also a super matte paint, but it's kind of like a really, really, really dark gray, which was perfect because I kind of wanted the sides to be a different shade. Okay, so something that we also still need to do is clean off the drawer handles. So I think we figured out that they are solid brass. If you put a magnet to it and it doesn't magnetize, then it's solid, right?
I believe so.
Okay, and it did not magnetize. So I think these are solid brass. So I did look up like a home remedy sort of thing to clean solid brass. So I'm gonna be mixing together some white vinegar and baking soda to hopefully create some kind of a paste that will magically clean these drawer handles. This is what this one's looking like. Pretty tarnished, pretty old looking, pretty dirty. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the vinegar. I'm gonna put half a cup. Nope, this is not vinegar, this is baking soda. In this little container. It's not little. I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna do a cup of vinegar. Alright, so I guess we'll mix it together. It's creating this lovely fizzing sound. It's definitely not making a paste. So, should I add more baking soda?
You could, yeah.
I said, should I?
I mean, it's something where...
Doing it. Chill out, chill out, chill out. That was almost bad. Well, I thought it was gonna be fine, and it was. So, we have our mixture kind of made up. I'm gonna try to get as many in as I can. So we're gonna let this soak for 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and I'm gonna take a toothbrush and kind of, hopefully it'll have some sort of result. So, all right, so it's actually some hours later and I have scrubbed some. So I wanted to make sure that this was actually going to work, and the toothbrush didn't work. It's just too soft. So these are like, you know, metal, like wired brushes, and this one is the stainless steel one. This is the one that worked. So we're going to continue with this one. I'm going to show you guys kind of how I would scrub it. It's really just kind of, it's just basic scrubbing, but I'm going to show you anyway. All right, scratch what I said earlier. This is the most satisfying part. Legitimately this. So I ended up using a stainless steel wired brush because the toothbrush just wasn't enough. So I used this to really scrub it. And so I would kind of dip into the mixture that we made because the baking soda basically sunk to the bottom, and that was where the paste was created basically. So I would kind of dip into it, scoop some of that paste up, and then use it to really scrub. So I don't know if you could use this kind of brush on like all metal pieces like this because I don't know if it would scratch it. So I did just want to include that. It was totally fine for what I needed it for, but I don't know if this could scratch other metal bits. 30 minutes, we're going to paint the gray on. So now we've got our mixture of the white and black chalk paints to make this gray. And this was really fun, honestly. So I basically just went in with the gray and did some like highlighted areas around like these corners and around the little leafy areas. So what I basically did was I used the gray to highlight some spots, and then I would go in with the black 3.0 to sort of blend, and I would use both colors to create this like really, really cool, I feel like it's sort of Tim Burton style. It looks so good with like the wood. Oh my god, I love it. So working with both the gray and the black 3.0, I would kind of go around and highlight some of these areas, make them look super, super cool. And then on the sides, I use the black 3.0 paint to create this, again, very like Tim Burton style in my opinion. I kind of like shaded the like rectangle indent that's on the side. Oh my god. Okay, hello. It is the next day and we're gonna get started on gold foiling these like little leafy parts. I know! It's stunning. I feel like we've been sprinting to the finish line with this, that I haven't been able to like freak out about all of the magical things. So anyway, we're gonna keep sprinting. So I have this metal leafing like adhesive, and this is from Speedball. I got it off of Amazon. I will link it down in the description along with literally everything else. For the gold foil, I have this like plastic container of so many sheets of gold foil. I will also link this down in the description. This is faux gold foil as well. We have a couple different brushes that I'm going to use to paint the glue on and then press the gold foil on. We're just going to get started. A super tedious process, but one of the most magical parts of the final look of the bureau. So I basically just took this like metal leafing adhesive, painted it on to the little leafy parts with just a regular paintbrush, and then I waited probably like 10 to maybe 10 minutes to let the glue or the adhesive get tacky, and then I would press on the gold leafing, and I would use a brush to really like make sure that it covered the entire like little leafy area. And then I would let the glue and the gold leaf dry for 30 minutes before I brushed the gold leafing away. So while I would let the leafed areas dry, I would kind of move on because we had a lot of area to cover. So basically the process was I would paint the glue on, let it dry for 10 minutes, get the gold foil on, let that dry for 30 minutes, and then we brushed it off and it was magical. I told you we were going to do something funky with the keyholes, so I did paint some glue on, and we got some gold foil on there to make them look like metal keyholes, right? Oh my god, they came out magical. So now that all the gold foil is on and it has dried for 30 minutes, we're going to brush all the excess off. This, all parts of this bureau were magical and so satisfying, but this one is so beautiful. So I did just use the same exact brush that I used to like press the gold foil on to brush it off. So it's the same brush, and you kind of just go around and brushy brush and it comes off and it's beautiful. We're also going to gold foil some corners on the top, some really pretty bits on the top part of this as well. So I did two corners. I did the bottom left and the top right, and I basically just feathered this glue on and then pressed on the gold foil, again leaving it for 30 minutes to dry and really stick to the gold. And then we brushed it off just like the other gold foil bits. Oh my god, these two corners are so pretty. And then finally, the final step was to seal it all in with this matte top coat varnish. Okay, this was like, I can't even think of a word to describe the process of this. This is the first time I've ever flipped furniture. I did not expect this. To all of the furniture flippers out there, my hat goes off to you because this was like an insane amount of work. We're here. We made it. And it's stunning. Like, it is ridiculously stunning. I don't know if you remember, because this has been the longest process in the history of time, but this thing was really blue. It was really something. I mean, I love blue, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, it was chipped and tired and everything, so it is now with some like accents of gray, the gold leafing, and then the handles. The handles? I can't believe that they turned out the way that they did. Do you remember them? Do you remember what this thing looked like? I haven't had time to like gush over this thing, and I just feel like this is kind of a moment for me. This is the first time I've ever flipped furniture, and it was so much work. And at some points I was like, this is stupid. I hate this, and I'm never doing it again. Some points were like, I don't even want to finish this. But I'm so glad that we did, because I would absolutely do this again. Here's the before and after. The stunning transformation of the blue bureau to the black gold gilded bureau. Like, I can't believe it. I can't believe that we did this.
Yeah.
And for my first time flipping a piece of furniture, and this drastically, like, this is a drastic change from what it was. For me, the next level was at the handles.
Yeah.
The handles are like, they're kind of evil. Yeah. Don't you think? The shape of them? Evil queen kind of way. Like, kind of a cool way.
It feels like Smaug had one of these where, like, he would keep some of his coins and treasures.
The handles, the best part of this. Let me know what your favorite part of this was, but the handles for me, best part. I love it so much. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It is at Artsymadwoman. I love you guys to absolute death, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Was that, were the shots for that one good?
I think that they were all right. I mean,
good or all right?
I mean, as all right as shots of you using a paint scraper to unscrew a handle drawer are gonna get.
Are you filming it?
Yeah.